What is good, my homies out there? This is your Cosmic Homegirl. And I know it's been a minute, but I'm doing a monthly horoscope for you guys for the month of April 2024. And this month is going to be a little bit busy cosmically as far as the energetic weather goes. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up. And if you would like a heads up on everything that's going on this year, don't forget to check out my website, indigomoonastrology.com, on the horoscopes page. If you're on your computer, it'll be under the More tab. But if you're on your phone, you'll see the horoscopes tab. So I go through every single Mercury retrograde, every single eclipse, the Jupiter Uranus conjunction. I go through all of the most important transits of the year for your sign. Okay. These are discounted now. And because we're a quarter of the way through 2024, hello. So your girl is going to hook you up. You are going to be able to check this out for a discounted price on my website. If you want to know based on your sign, your rising sign is going to be the most accurate. Your sun sign will still be accurate as well. And your moon sign for your personal life. Definitely check these out. Get yourself one so you can be a little bit more prepared with how to get through some of the crazy transits that we have going on. And a lot of them are in the month of April, okay, of 2024. So let's get started. What's the most important ones that you guys need to know about in general? Of course, one of the transits that are all the rage, the big talk, is the star of the show. Well, one of the stars of the show for the month of April, which is Mercury retrograde. All right, that is going to be April 1st that Mercury goes retrograde at 27 degrees Aries. It'll go back down to 16 degrees Aries before it goes direct on April 25th. Okay, oops, your girl was looking a little bit ahead there. Before it goes direct on April 25th at 16 degrees. And Mercury has already been in its shadow period since it hit 16 degrees Aries the first time, which was around the 19th of March. So we're already in this window of Mercury retrograde even before April 1st. You may have already witnessed the madness that Mercury retrograde can cause, the misunderstandings, the issues with your vehicle. Oh my gosh, you guys. I took my vehicle to the shop before. I was trying to beat Mercury retrograde. I was trying to beat him and be smart. So I took my car to the shop. I got it out of the shop. I want to say maybe like the day that Mercury went into shadow period or the day before it went into shadow period. I got it out of the shop. Yeah, it was the day before. Lo and behold, everything, like, they asked me how's everything going. I there was something that I found that they had missed. I brought it back to the shop. They're like, oh, it's going to be an easy fix for just like very cheap price. And then they went through it, and this was during Mercury retrograde that they went through everything, and they're like, oh, actually we're going to need to do this and this. It's going to cost you more than what we thought. And I was just like, no, you know what? I'm going to wait till after Mercury retro. I can't right now, you know? And then they called me yesterday and we're still in this shadow period. They're like, oh, ma'am, we forgot to put a part back on your car last time we looked at it. So come back in and we'll put it back. Oh my God. You guys don't even know. Like me and this vehicle, man. Me and vehicles in general, we just don't get along, especially under Mercury retrograde. So yes, the shadow period, it'll still show you things that have been missing, that have been missed. You go back and retrieve things. You go back over work that you thought you completed thoroughly, but it was not done all the way. All of that can still come up even before April 1st. And even after April 25th, we don't jump for joy over here on this side of the astrological screeds, right? We do not do that. We say, okay, let's wait until, let's see, Mercury went retrograde at 27 Aries. Okay, all right, bet. So once it surpasses 27 Aries, we are in the clear at that time, which is going to be about May 14th. Let's just say May 14th. That's when Mercury actually is out of its shadow period. And things will start to normalize again in your life. And of course, we know what Mercury rules. It does rule travel, Usually short distance travel, it rules like just your mental activity, you making plans. Mercury rules that. Your what you do with your hands. So fumbling and bumbling things out of your hands is an annoying part of this transit as well. Okay. And so Mercury, it also rules the mail that you receive, emails, postal mail. It doesn't matter. So probably not a good time to order anything online during the month of April and the first half of May. Okay. There could be some delays. It's just inevitable. Like you can't completely avoid the dumb shit with Mercury retrograde. Okay, we just to be forewarned, warned. Oh my God, what is wrong with my communication this morning? To be forewarned is to be forearmed, right? So you know that if stupid stuff happens, it's like, okay, it's because of this period of time and this too shall pass. So Mercury will be out of its shadow period after 514. Okay. So Venus comes in a conjunction with Neptune on April 3rd. Exactly with Neptune. Now, we're already building up to that as I'm recording this at the end of March. Venus and Neptune together are beautiful, beautiful blend of energies when it comes to art and romance and enjoying yourself in a state of bliss. Of course, in healthy ways. You know, your girl does not encourage like escapism through substances and stuff like that. But if you know how to do things in moderation, who am I to judge? Who am I, girl? But Mercury conjoined to Neptune. Meeting people around this time, as far as dating, there could be a lot of confusion, illusion, delusion, all the illusions that are involved. And once the spell of Neptune wears off, once Venus gets deeper into Aries, maybe like during the second half of the month of April, then like the second week, let's just say that, then you may realize that, you know, the person that you thought that you met in person or online, you can get catfished around this time. Okay, you can get catfished, whether that's with looks or personality or anything. Neptune and Venus together, like I said, it's beautiful for romantic encounters if you're already established with someone, but people can really be deceptive with that energy. Also, keep track of your personal belongings that you cherish around Venus and Neptune. You can lose things. People can commit theft, thievery around this time. Anything touching Neptune, whether by conjunction, especially conjunction, but even opposition or square in the sky, we don't really like it for your personal things. Okay, so just keep track of them. All right, so then we have on April the 8th. Oh, no, I'm sorry, the 4th. Venus moves into Aries through April 29th. So Venus will move into Aries. She's more about athleticism and competition, and she likes the thrill of the chase. Okay, she likes to chase her prey, hunt them down, capture them, and then she's bored. So when it comes to love and romance, this is it could be a very fun time to get out with people that you're romantically interested in and like do some competitive activities together, stuff like that, you know. But meeting people and dating around, yeah, it's more of like the fun thrill of the chase. Okay, bye, next, thank you, next type of stuff, right? Venus and Aries, what people may be rocking during this time, she's there until April the 29th. More red, more athleisure. Me myself with the sun, just a sun and Mercury in Aries, they're in my sixth house of health and routine and regimens and working out. I am looking at more leggings, like cute stylish leggings that you can use to work out and go to the gym and stuff like that online. As far as fashion, where I was under all the Pisces energy alone, just really into my princess vibes. So yeah, that's it. It does affect style, most definitely, Venus being there. Now the biggest star of the month is the eclipse that we have in Aries. Oh my gosh, I'm still using my cafe astrology, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be using this, but whatever. So on the 8th of April, we'll skip ahead a week. This is when we have the solar eclipse in Aries at 19 degrees. And it's going to be, so this is Los Angeles time, like Pacific time that I'm on. personally, but it's going to be like in the mid morning Pacific time in the US. So figure out your time zone compared to that, and that's the time that it's going to be at. So it's in a conjunction with Chiron, very closely at the same degree, like probably like exact with Chiron. And then it's also in a conjunction with Mercury retrograde in Aries. Um, of course, this depends upon where it lands in your chart as far as how it really truly affects you, which, once again, shameless plug, check out your horoscopes. Your girl has the in depth description for your sign of what the eclipse is going to be doing, how it's going to be affecting you. And these are like hour-long podcast style with a bunch of slides and stuff like that, visuals, okay? So check them out. But this eclipse conjoined to Mercury retrograde and Chiron. It's not, of course, we don't want to invoke fear and gloom and doom or anything like that. But I'm just always honest about when the transits are kind of shitty, right? This eclipse, of course, eclipses open doors and awaken and all that mumbo jumbo. Okay, yes, they do. They enlighten you. And yes, they do. But I really don't. This isn't like my favorite thing to see, to be honest, like a conjunction with Chiron. Now, Chiron is called the wounded healer asteroid. It can rule suffering and pain. So an eclipse, it can open things up, but it can close out chapters as well. Normally, we look at a new moon, which this is, as a new beginning. But I have found that new moons can get rid of some stuff. Okay, because you need to get rid of old in order to welcome in new. So yes, this eclipse, there can be something painful involved with it in some area of life. The level of pain certainly depends upon you, where it lands in your chart, your situation, your environment, people involved, and whatever, right? But sometimes you need a little bit of pain in order to promote healing. So there could be something that goes on that's like kind of devastating to you, but it opens your eyes to something that needs to change for the better for you to heal in that area of your life. And then the conjunction with Mercury retrograde, excuse me, maybe there's something that needs to be readdressed from your past that is not the most fun to deal with, but it's like brought up and it's like, wow, okay. Or some truth is revealed about something from your past and it's like, wow, okay. But you know what? This eclipse energy is moving me, pushing me even more forward towards moving on and moving ahead in my life so that I just feel a lot better and that pain is no more. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not the most favorable thing for an eclipse to be in a conjunction with Chiron. It is not. And with Mercury in retrograde, that's like hella memories coming back. But there could be like old, things that there's finally a conversation about that has been much needed for years and things have been festering underneath the surface. And now finally that pain is brought forward, but it's like in such a way that it's like, wow, I needed to know that and now I do. It does sting a little, but at least I can move forward. It's no longer just beneath the surface. I no longer have to wonder and just be in the dark and about some things that I was perceiving in a certain way and it was so painful to hold on to. And now it's in the clear. So yeah, there could be something brought to your attention that needs to be healed under this eclipse, which everybody says about every eclipse. And I think that's corny AF. But, I will tell you the truth. Like, it's either going to be a healing eclipse or it's not. It's going to be affecting a different area or different topic or something a lot more than it's just like an awakening. So eclipses happen a couple times a year. There's seasons of them. It's like there's a couple of them that'll happen within a month. There will be like a new moon and a full moon, lunar and a solar eclipse, right? And then 6 months later, we have two more. That's usually how it goes. every single year. So I don't want people to think the eclipses are always just some random phenomenon. No, it happens in cycles. I mean, check this out. You guys know I love to go back and check out the cycles. Eclipses happen in cycles. It's usually once every 18, 19 years, something like that, that the same eclipse cycle comes about, or it'll be at the same degree, the same sign. So right now we're in a cycle of that's a repeat of 2005. Slightly. At least this eclipse, April 8th, is the same as April 8th of 2005, 19 degrees of Aries. But Chiron was not in a conjunction. Chiron was not in Aries at that time. I want to say it was in Aquarius at that time. I think it was in Aquarius. So if it wasn't Aquarius, it was Capricorn. But yeah, 2005, if you were alive during that time, if you were around, if you were adulting, if you were, having, you can remember major changes in your life wherever Aries is at in your chart, then this could be a repeat. This could be telling you some things. I remember this year. Oh, was it this year? Let's see. Okay. This is in the sector of jobs for me. Actually, my sixth house cusp is 20 Aries, so it's like right there. That month, I got fired from a job that I had for 3 years. I was let go because the company was closing down. I've had several jobs like that. Especially during this period of time in the early 2000s when these Aries eclipses were happening. I had a couple of jobs like that. The company is shutting down, so we're letting you go. I think I want to say I had a couple jobs like that during the Aries eclipses. There was one, I showed up to work one day and it was just like the doors were locked. And I called my boss. I'm standing outside in my uniform looking like an idiot. And I'm like, hey. And he's like, oh yeah, we got closed down. It was like a bar, restaurant type of place, and I was a server. So yeah, I'm like, yo, what's gonna be a repeat this time that has to do with jobs? Or right now, I don't have a W-2 job at this moment, so I can't see that same thing happening personally, but maybe it's something that's a little bit the opposite. Like, I get a W-2 job, which I am trying to. So it may not be exactly the same, but it's the same area of life. Think back to 2005. What were you doing? Even if you were a child, what changes were going on wherever Aries lands in your chart? And that can give you a little bit of insight. Of course, these will give you hella insight. Okay, wink, wink. All right, so let's go back. That is the star of the month on April 8th. So we also have a couple days later, we have Mars and Saturn conjoining together very closely, exactly in Pisces. So this is Mars and Saturn together at 14 of Pisces. Mars and Saturn together, I actually, this can be favorable. It all depends. Of course, where it lands in your chart depends on what your life is like and everything. But but Mars and Saturn together. So Mars is like a soldier. Saturn is like a general, a drill sergeant, somebody in charge. Saturn is responsibility. Saturn is about following the lead, Saturn is leadership energy, actually. I'm sorry. And so is Mars. So when they come together, they give you this supercharged power of being a leader or a go-getter, a goal-getter also in your life somewhere. Saturn is about discipline. Saturn can be about punishment. Mars is about action. It can be anger as well. So you need to be careful to not have these two energies combined and go to the extreme with punishment or having a power trip or something like that on other people in any type of way that could be harmful to them. You just need to be careful with this energy or not let anybody manipulate you with their power under this energy, because it is in the sign of Pisces, which unfortunately the water signs, a downside to them is manipulation, emotional manipulation. So this has a good and bad, like every transit, of course. Mars and Saturn together is great for sitting down, focusing, getting your work done, getting your plans in order. I know Mercury's retrograde. It sucks. It's like, it's very difficult to um, put plans in order and to sit down and plan things out, and for your plans to even go through during a Mercury retrograde period. But at least for the time that Mars and Saturn are closely conjoined to each other, the exact is on April 10th, but in the days leading up to it, and even the days like following, it's still in a conjunction pretty close. So it's 14. So let's say like from the beginning of the month, as the month starts, and then up to, yeah, like close to the end of the month, maybe up until May, like, we'll say up until like the third week or so. Let's see. Up until like about the third, fourth week. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like around the fourth week of April is when it starts to really separate itself. And Mars gets closer to Neptune, and that'll really start to like disintegrate and dissipate the energy of Saturn, and it'll grow closer to Neptune, and we'll talk about that conjunction a little bit later because it happens later in the month. But yeah, it's really good. It's a really good transit for just like sitting down and going over your long-term goals and plans and being very serious about them and figuring out how to execute them, if not actually executing some things. Okay? Next, we are going to talk about Mercury conjoined to Chiron. This is going to be on the 15th of April, and this is after the eclipse. The eclipse was at 19. Chiron is staying at the 19th degree for a period of time during this month because it's pretty slow moving as far as being an asteroid. But we have Mercury retrograde conjoined to Chiron. So this is the eclipse degree. So there's something that came up around or on the eclipse, with the eclipse alongside it on April 8th, that is being readdressed on April 15th. Okay, or around April 15th. This is just the exact conjunction, but you guys already know. I always say a few days before, a few days after, you can still feel it, whatever. So yeah, Mercury conjoined to Chiron, something to do with, there could be more details about a situation, more information revealed or that comes to you or something like that, more enlightenment about how to move forward in the least painful way and in the healthiest way with wherever Aries is at in your chart, whatever the eclipse is bringing up for you. Lots of memories can come back to people during this time about certain things that, made them feel some type of way, just to be honest with you. Then on the 19th, we have the sun in Taurus. Yes, Taurus season begins. I'm a Taurus sun sign, so I am looking forward to some parts of Taurus season. So here we go. April 19th, sun in Taurus, gonna be there till the 20th of May. So yes, we start to shift into more Taurus themes. So Earth Day is the following day on April 20th, right? Is it Earth Day on April 20th or 22nd? Something like that. Earth Day is in the very beginning of Taurus season, and Taurus is an earth sign. And Taurus is the ultimate earth sign. It rules everything that you touch on this earth, the physical world. A lot of it is ruled by Taurus. And because Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the ruler of the physical world, our five senses as human beings, everything that goes through our five senses, which is the physical world in general. So yes, Taurus rules all of that. We're more focused on that as a collective. More interestingly, that's something that's popping. Well, we do have Mercury conjoined to Venus, Mercury retrograde conjoined to Venus, actually on this day as well, on April 19th. So this can be, we already talk about all the time how Mercury retrograde, yes, it brings exes back from the past. You start to think about past loves and all that stuff, right? So yes, this could be some communication from someone of your past It doesn't always have to be an ex. Venus is pleasantry. It's getting along with people in general. So Mercury conjoined to Venus could be just anyone that you have a pleasant relationship with. Okay, or have had in the past. Venus rules women and feminine creatures. So a feminine creature from your past, that can mean like a friend, a homegirl, even if it's a guy who's very Venus ruled, very Venusian. You can maybe hear from them or start thinking about them. Maybe you can get back in tune with um, some things that you enjoy. You remember, oh, you know what? I haven't enjoyed this dish or this drink in a long time. I'm going to do that. I haven't cooked this type of recipe in a long time. I'm going to do that. There's like a perfume or a cologne, a scent that I used to enjoy and I don't have it anymore. I'm going to go pick it up just, for nostalgia. There's a lot of nostalgia, pleasant nostalgia involved with this Mercury retrograde. There could be some unpleasant with relationship pain because Venus is conjoined to Chiron. Mercury is there too. So, it can go either way. Now, let's talk about the other star of the month, of the show of the month of April. We have on the 20th, 420. Yes, 420. We have some weird shit going on. I'm just kidding. Well, maybe not. Look, we have Jupiter conjoined to Uranus. Uranus is the planet of weird, out there, alien, foreign, people just doing weird things, strange things, and you're like, I don't understand them. They're not normal. That's Uranus. So Jupiter is amplifying something with Uranus. So, in a general sense, Jupiter is, yes, it's magnifying things, it's making them more seen, more visible. Jupiter can be associated with drama, like headlines that we see of like this happened and this happened, like national publications of news can be Jupiter. And then conjoined to Uranus. Uranus does rule outer space, technology, aircraft. So there could be in general some huge news or breakthrough or event that's like unexpected and weird surrounding this transit. I would say be careful if you plan on flying on this day. With all the Pluto and Aquarius aircraft stuff going on, Aquarius is the ruler of Uranus, right? And if you guys don't really follow me on Instagram, you definitely should, and check out my stories because that's where I post all of the astro tea, all the headlines, and explain them astrologically. They're all on my Instagram stories, okay? So if you follow me, you already know. But if you don't, just very briefly, Aquarius rules the skies, not just the skies here on Earth. It rules outer space. It rules elevation, being high, in high elevation. It rules airplanes, aircraft, helicopters, being in the sky some kind of way is ruled by Aquarius, okay? Even hot air balloons. And at the very beginning of the year of 2024, when Pluto was easing back into Aquarius, we had a hot air balloon accident. Aquarius also rules electricity. When the sun was conjoined to Pluto at the very beginning of the year in January, we had this horrific accident that happened. I think it was in Oregon. It was storming out, raining. This family all got electrocuted. There was like ice that they slid on and slid into an electric, like a power line that had gone down or something. Like a whole family like died, So electricity, and Pluto can rule death and destruction and horrific things happening. So that's why we keep having all these news headlines that have to do with aircraft and, all this like aircraft falling apart. And because Pluto and Aquarius is saying, you need to check your shit. You need to check your shit to make sure that there's no deaths in the air. Okay. And oh my God. Oh, yes, I know. It's something to fear, but I'm just keeping it all the way real, like always. So I would say be careful. I'm not guaranteeing something bad's going to happen to you if you fly on or near April 20th. I'm flying near April 20th, and I am a bit fearful, but I don't really see like any thing else in my transits that point to something that I should really worry about. Well, let's see. But so yeah, I'm an astrologer. I see this shit and I'm still flying out for my birthday. Hello, I'm still getting flued out or fluing myself out actually, but still if you can help it, then be careful with anything involving aircraft and this day, around this day, okay? Um but you can see a lot of weird, outrageous, different, out of the ordinary. There could be some surprise. Uranus likes to surprise people. There could be some kind of surprise thing that happens, but it could be something good. You never know. You never know. And it depends on where this is at in your chart. What house is it in? You could have some kind of surprise news that day of something. Okay, so that is going to be on the 20th of April. Next, we're going to talk about Venus conjoined to Chiron at 20 degrees of Aries on the 21st. Mm, I don't like this. I'm going to be honest. I don't really like her with Chiron. This is like the 20th and the 21st. Okay, like it's probably exactly conjoined somewhere in the middle of the night, according to Pacific time in the US. Um, I don't really like it, to be honest with you guys. I try to find the good and the bad with Chiron always, but I have this conjunction in my chart and it's sad and ugly. I do not like it. I even have that conjunction tattooed on one of my middle fingers. Okay. Like, fuck this placement. I just don't like it. But it's what can we do, you know? But try to see the good. So here's both the good and the bad with Venus and Chiron. Of course, some kind of situation that you've had involving love or money or even beauty, self-worth, feeling whether or not you feel attractive could be healed or fixed around this time. Maybe you do something that helps you to feel more attractive. I would not recommend plastic surgery, procedures, anything like that around this time because Mars is too close to Neptune. People can slip up. Mars can deal with like sharp objects and needles and operations and stuff. And close to Neptune, that could be people like, la la, la, whoops, you know? So look what Mercury conjoined to Neptune already did to my car. Oh, whoops, we forgot to put a part back on. Ha ha ha. They contact me like a week later to tell me that. You know what I'm saying? That was because Mercury was conjoined to Neptune at the time that I had them fix my car. So Mars and Neptune and procedures, girl, you may want to be careful. But so I wouldn't recommend anything major like that, but anything that makes you feel good and heals any sense of insecurity within yourself that is healthy, that's not too risky. You know, maybe you might be doing around this day. Some people might. Maybe a chance to heal a situation with a lover or some kind of relationship. Venus rules relationships in general between human beings. So something could be maybe healed at this time. You know, this is around the eclipse degree. So if there's any type of conversations that came up around the eclipse, wherever Aries is at in your chart, maybe this is like, hey, let's smooth this out. Let's get along. Let's figure out how we can heal this and make our relationship, excuse me, or something that the eclipse brought up, make it pleasant again. If there was something ugly that came up, you know? So that is the 20th and the 21st, if this conjunction is very close. The 23rd, we have a full moon. It's not an eclipse, but it's at 4 degrees of Scorpio and Taurus. So this is not an eclipse. However, it does have something to do with the eclipse cycles because there was a lunar eclipse 2005, the same in the same degree, the same sign. It was not the same day. It was the 25th. This time it's the 23rd. Okay, that we have that full moon, right? Or did I read it right? Yeah, it's the 23rd. Okay. So this time it's the 23rd. But still, it's 4 degrees of Scorpio and Taurus. Woo! I have stuff there. I'm not looking forward to this month personally. That's why I'm trying to like do something good with reading the horoscopes and trying to find the good and sharing it with you guys to try to see, you know, all sides of things. But yeah, 4 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio. We have a full moon. But so it's not a lunar eclipse like it was in 2005. But if you remember 2005 in the month of April, what was going on? For me personally, this landed 4 degrees of Taurus is my natal Mars in the sixth house, and it rules the sixth house. So it was inevitable that this month I was going to be let go from my job. So now I got to look what else sixth house could be going on, and see if something is awakened there. And for you guys, this will land somewhere else. It's not going to be exact like, I was talking about my transits, but this is not a repeat of that eclipse. However, the last time we had eclipses in this cycle, more recently, was in, actually, check it out. So yeah, it was, we had a lunar eclipse October 2023 at 5 degrees of Taurus in Scorpio. So something from 6 months ago, the end of 2023, can also be brought to a head, brought to light, brought to a conclusion, even though this full moon is not an eclipse. I repeat, it's not an eclipse, but it's still bringing up something from 6 months ago for finalization. I'm already kind of feeling it. I know something that was brought up for me at that time with the houses that it lands in my chart, and I have seen some things start to show up. You know what I mean? That are like, oh, wow, okay, I see what it is. So that's happening on the 23rd. Then we skip ahead to the 29th. And we have a couple things going on that day. So on the 29th, we have Mars conjoined to Neptune in Pisces. We also have Venus going into Taurus. So this is like romantical energies. Yas, look at this. So I can't really change the time on here, but yeah, they're conjoined exactly at 28 of Pisces. It's probably more so like in the middle of the night, so it could be the 28th where you're at, Mars and Neptune together. Now this is creative energy combined with action. So if you're a dancer, or if you do Pilates or yoga or workouts that you move in a graceful way, a creative artful way, yeah, this could be a really good energy for that. Martial arts even. Mars and Neptune, you can maybe crave being near water, near the ocean. Same thing for the Venus-Neptune conjunction on April 3rd. Be near water, be in the ocean, take a nice bath with a nice bath bomb. Your Venus homegirl here, Venus ruled homegirl here is addicted to the bath bombs from Lush. Oh, MG. There's also a lot of great people on Instagram and other social media outlets that sell their own products. That create stuff like bath bombs and everything, like small businesses that do, basically. So yeah, this could be some activities that you enjoy around Mars and Neptune conjoined in Pisces. If you're a musician and you can create, you can perform. Mars is physical action, so it can mean performances that are musical in nature, or art natured, or whatever, art associated. I'm trying to think. I think I'm DJing around this time. Kind of, yeah, maybe like, I don't know. I think I'm DJing around this time. But if you do some, even stuff like that, DJing, this could be good. Now, where it's not so great is any type of action to where you have to stay on task. You have to stay on point. Mars and Neptune is not the guy, okay? In Pisces, he's not the guy, okay? He just will wander off, he'll get lost, then he'll try to circle back and be lost trying to come back, and then he'll be like, fuck it, and maybe light up a joint or something, you know what I mean? And then just start jamming out to music and totally forget what he's supposed to do. So everybody can have a little taste of that energy around the 29th of April, especially on the 28th and 29th. It's very strong. Be careful driving. Be careful with any physical movement. Oh my God, even walking around. I'm going to be in another city celebrating my birthday, my solar return at this time. A city that is near water, on the water. So yeah, and we're going to be walking around, mobbing around, and haven't been in the city in years. So I'm like, yo, and I'm traveling with another Pisces. Oh my God. Girls, boys, we better not get lost. I'm going to tell her. She is like This is one of my best friends who is now hip to the language of astrology thanks to moi. And I'm just like, girl, like, we need to really be on point. Let's not get lost, okay? I think we're gonna be in a forest that day or something. Lord have mercy. We better rethink some of our plans under this Mercury retrograde. Anyway, Mars and Neptune not the best with keeping on the same path and following directions. You can be very tired, like extra tired, have less energy around this time as well. Then we have Venus and Taurus. Yes, check her out. Shining in her home sign. One of the two home signs of hers in Taurus. Look at her. Yes, now she wants all the chocolates, all the perfumes. She wants it all, honey. She wants to be in nature. She wants to be in the city enjoying good foods and good scenery. She wants to just do everything. Everything that she enjoys, everything that her heart desires. She wants to have flowers in her hair. She wants to just be frolicking around and smelling the crisp spring air, if you are in this part of the world that I'm in, that is, and just basking in the sunshine. And like, oh my gosh, she's just so sensual. Everything about the five senses enjoy. She's taking it all in with her nostrils and with her everything, right? So, Venus and Taurus, we're going to be twirling around through her energy through May 23rd. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Here we go. Mars. Mars. What are you doing? WID Mars. Well, dang it. I can't. Okay. Change. If I reset this. Dang it. It's still based on the time that I. Okay. Back to the current moment. Okay. Now let's go ahead. I'm trying to show Mars being in Aries. Yeah. Mars goes into Aries, right? I should have put a month. Damn it. Let me go back. Okay. Now let's do 1 month to be exact. Da, 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 da. There he is. 0 degrees of Aries. That's what we were looking for. Mars goes into Aries. He's going to be there through June 8th, terrorizing us. OMG. OMG. Maybe for some people, he's not a terror. Mars is at home in Aries. So the good thing about it is lots of energy, physical energy to get things done, to work out. Working out is the best thing you can do through a Mars and Aries transit. Getting physical in healthy ways and not fighting, because Mars and Aries loves to scrap. He does. Look at Krishan Rock. For those of you who know who she is, always in the media, she's Mars and Aries. She's always fighting. She'll fight men. But she was also a superstar in track and running. Aha, see, it has its good and bad, right? So, physical activities that are healthy for you, that are not too risky, of course, the best thing to do with this energy that you're going to be under for a little over a month. But yes, people will be more impatient. They will be angrier. People may be more prone to headaches and migraines. I'm not looking forward to this shit. This is my 6th house and I already have Mars there. I get migraines and headaches every Aries season, even Aries moons every month. Oh God, the energy tortures your homegirl. But for some of you guys, Mars and Aries is landing in a house in your chart. Say, for example, you are a Sag rising. You're going to get all this energy to just be out there flirting and having fun, doing fun activities. All the fire signs are going to be having this trine aspect from Mars that are really going to have you in your element. You're going to be feeling really good, really energized physically and just on the inside as a whole being, just really feeling it. Cardinal signs, you might be scrapping because this is going to be in some challenging aspects to the cardinals, okay? The water signs, it's like, meh. I don't really look at in conjunctions or quintex. I don't remember the name. I hate that name. Oh God. I can't say it. I hate it. But an in conjunction, I don't really pay too much attention to them. I really don't. I mostly look at like what really strikes us and like, you really see the evidence of so strongly. And personally, I don't notice in conjunctions like that. If you do, good for you, and let me know. You know what I'm saying? But I mostly look at the trines, the squares, the oppositions, and the conjunctions. So with those, for the water signs, for the earth signs, right? But yes, for air and fire signs, Mars and Aries is going to really treat you well. Okay. But Mars and Aries, yes, beware of people being extra assholes, impatient, wanting to fight over any and everything. Mars and Aries, you may hear more exhausts loudly on people's vehicles, and you'll see more motorcycles out. A bunch of fucking noise because Aries is loud, right? So if you like peace and quiet, you're gonna kind of be going through some things for about a little over a month. People are gonna be annoying the fuck out of you. Like, oh my God, I'm not looking forward to it. But this is definitely a transit that gets us all off of our asses to get things done. I am looking forward to that, most definitely, because Mars and Pisces, I really don't, it's like, he doesn't want to do anything, Mars and Pisces. He's lazy. He really is. No, sir, I don't like it. Mars and Pisces is beautiful for many things, but he's lazy. It's still going to be in a conjunction with Neptune very closely up until, let's say about 6 degrees of Aries, something like that. So, yeah, for the first like week or so, it's still going to be in a conjunction with Neptune. He's going to be still a little sleepy, but he's going to start waking his ass up in the middle of May. Okay, so yes, Mars is going to be in Aries starting on April 30th until June 8th. That is it. That's it. Don't forget to grab your horoscope, 2024 horoscope. I go over every single Mercury retrograde, every single eclipse. I go over your best times for love, money, business. Check it out. Best, it's literally right here. Best times, love, money, and business for your whole year. Okay. I give you dates for those. Dates and time frames, love, money, and business. I don't just say this year for this sign that I picked out of my asshole, it should be good for love. No, no, ma'am, no, sir. Your homegirl gets down with the details. I do that even in these. So go ahead and get yourself one. They are discounted now. indigomoonAstrology.com/horoscopes. Hello. Be ahead of the game. Okay? Have your guide ready to go. So when everybody else is like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on, you could be like, well, listen, let me just screenshot because I have the slide on the screen that have all the dates on them. You can screenshot them, okay, and keep them for yourself in your phone and be ahead of the game. So go get yourself one. Have a blessed month, you guys. We're still in eclipse season. It is intense. I know it is. But just hold on. We have them every single year. You'll survive. Don't let any of the headlines scare you. The most intense eclipse of ever in existence of humanity. That's some bullshit. It's bullshit. All right, you guys. Much love to you. Take care. Peace.